Live from Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf, Maryland, you're listening to the Big Train Baseball Network. My name is Quincy Bell. Alongside me is Jackson Corcoran. Jackson, we have a pretty big game on our hands. Game number 13 of the Bethesda Big Train season. Both of these two teams are a combined 17-6. The Bethesda Big Train leading the North Division by one game. They sit at 8-4. The Southern Maryland Senators leading the South Division by 3 games. They have the best record in the league at 9-2. Jackson, both these teams met last year in the league title game. They were both second place in their division. Now they're at the top.
Yeah, and what makes this game even more interesting is the two guys towing the rubber to start this game off. For the Big Train, it is Drew Bellis, who's made his name quickly with an exploding fastball and devastating breaker. And on the other end, it's Logan Bingham, who went 5 hitless the last time he took the mound. That was against the Crop Dusters back on June 11th.
Alex Peltier into the box to lead things off for the Big Train. Bingham is set into the windup, and we're underway from Regency Furniture Stadium. Grounded over to short. Flores has it. Thrown across the diamond in time to get the speedy Peltier. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Senators. The Big Train lineup is as follows. Alex Peltier followed by Brennan Wright. Parker Corbin will hit third. Emilio Gonzalez will clean up. Josh Goransky will hit fifth. Logan Panette, who's been in a little bit of a slump, has been moved down to 6. Matthew Wesley, Brett Ott, and Jacob Hawk round out the bottom of the Big Train order. The Big Train in their road blacks and the Senators in their home black jerseys. Both teams in black jerseys. The Big Train with gray pants, the Senators with white pants. First pitch to the number 2 hitter, Brennan Wright, is a fastball over the plate for a strike.
Despite Peltier grounding out to start the game, he just came off winning a Player of the Week award in the Cal Ripken League, hitting .563 during Week 3.
Wright shows bunt, pulls it back, it gets away. Pitch was inside for a ball. And our umpire is down. He got hit in the knee, it looks like, and both of his umpiring makes will attend to him. Hopefully he's okay. Now, Jackson, I do not envy people wearing black on the field today. It is 94 degrees outside with a 53% humidity. The feels like temperature is 106.
It's a boiler today. It's hot and it is humid. It is not the most fun day to play baseball, umpire, catch, and like you said, it for both teams to be wearing black jerseys might be a knockdown, drag-out game here in Waldorf.
Our plate umpire is shaking out his right hand, but he looks to be okay. He gives a new ball to the Southern Maryland catcher, Lucas Grantham, one of the more powerful hitters on this Senator team. He will be hitting 7th today. Nobody on, 1 out, top half of the first, 1-1 count on Brennan Wright. Kicking the deal. Line drive up the middle. It's through for a base hit into center field. Brennan Wright with the first hit of the game for the Big Train. And Jackson, notably, he has gotten on base now in every single game the Big Train have played so far this year.
By hook or by crook, that's the way Brennan Wright has done it. He's bunted for hits. He's slapped singles to the middle like he did there. He's taken walks. He's taken 4 hit by pitches. That's second most in the Cal Ripken League. I mean, he's a guy you want at the top of your lineup because he finds a way.
Parker Corbin now into the box from the left-handed side. Facing Logan Bingham. He powers one into the opposite field, but Martin, the left fielder, shields the sun and has a beat on it. Makes the catch for the second out.
A couple guys getting aggressive on Bingham's fastball here. First pitch swinging Peltier and Parker Corbin. They're both set down. Corbin hit that one somewhat solidly, but to the opposite field side and right at Martin.
This is a Big Train team that does not do a lot of first pitch swinging. They are second in the league in walks with 81. There's now 2 out. And Emilio Gonzalez, the third straight lefty, steps to the plate. He cuts at the first pitch and bounces it down the third base line just foul.
And small sample size, but Bingham has been a strike thrower in the league so far this year. He's got a 2.57 ERA, just 1 walk in his 7 innings. And looks like the Big Train are trying to take advantage of the fact that he wants to fill the zone.
0-1 on Emilio Gonzalez, right with a sizable lead at first kick and the delivery. Line drive into right field. This ball is down, and it will get all the way to the corner. Wright is off to the races. He's headed towards third. He's getting the stop sign at third. The ball collected in right field by Groen, gets it back to the infield quickly. But Emilio Gonzalez, continuing to rake, moves right up to third, hit himself up to second, and now Skowronski will step in. The fourth straight left-handed hitter in this Big Train lineup, going very lefty-heavy against the right-handed starter Bingham.
That's a great swing by Gonzalez there. Sees a pitch in the inner half, pulls the barrel in, and gets every bit of it. Crushes it down the right field line for extra bases. And I think that's maybe a bit overcautious stop of the speedy right at third. I think he had a lane to get home there, but Skowronski's hitting well.
He takes the first pitch, a fastball just above the letters for a ball. Skowronski had a strong day at the office yesterday, 2 hits and 3 at-bats, scored 2 runs and had 2 RBIs. Grantham kicks and delivers. Skowronski waves at a fastball a little too late. Count now 1-1. Yeah, after the righty Peltier, 4 straight lefties, 2 through 5 in this Big Train lineup. If Southern Maryland were to go to a lefty out of the bullpen, could be a time to empty the bench and see some pinch hitters. That ball gets away from the catcher Grantham, but not far away enough for Wright to advance from third.
As a whole, the Big Train have struggled against lefty pitchers in large part because of their gamut of lefties that they often post in the middle of the lineup. That platoon disadvantage at times has limited them to a .254 average as a team against southpaws.
They're 1-2 when facing a left-handed starter, 7-2 when facing a right-handed starter. Skowronski files one straight back into the padding behind home plate. 2-2 the count on the Winthrop product.
Good news is Logan Bingham throwing from the right side, and I think that's why you see that big slide of lefties in this lineup.
Skowronski, 167 average against lefties, but 304 against righties. 2-2 from Grantham, fouled straight back. And Skowronski, putting up a strong battle here against Bingham.
It just looked so assured at the plate yesterday, the most comfortable he's looked in that left-handed batter's box so far this year. And the day before that, went over, but hit 2 balls very, very well and was robbed by nice defensive plays. He's seeing the baseball quite well right now.
Grantham set, trying to get out of the inning with no damage. Pitch to Skowronski. Fastball misses high and in. Count is now all fulled up. Should Skowronski reach, Panette waits on deck. Gonzalez at second, Wright at third. 3-2 count, 2 outs, top half of the first. 0-0 between the Big Train and Senators, 2 division leaders. Payoff pitch, Skowronski takes high. The bases are now loaded after a 2-out walk, and Panette will dig in.
Logan Panette, a chance to break out of a 1-for-12 skid that dates back to June 12th with all those rainouts. Obviously had the incredible start to this season. We hopefully just think it's more regression to the mean just a little bit in this last couple games, but we've seen the power that's in his bat.
Pressure spot, bases loaded, 2 out. Grantham taps the foot twice, now comes to the plate. Panette swinging, first pitch, chops one foul down the third base line off the facing of the Southern Maryland dugout. Panette with the bases loaded this year, .250 average, 7 RBIs. 4 of those came with a grand slam on opening day against the DC Grays. Looking to do some damage and put the Big Train up early. Grantham peering in. Taps the foot twice. Now delivers. Panette swings and misses at a big curveball from Grantham, and he's down in the count 0-2.
When pitchers have been able to get to him, it's been with that pitch there. It was a nice slider from Bingham. Located it well on the lower outer edge of the zone. That's a pitch that Panette likes, but hasn't been able to drive very often. Most of his whiffs coming on sliders like that one. He's been able to catch up to fastballs of all stripes, though.
0-2, 2 out. Kick in the fire. Panette swings and misses for strike 3. Chased a slider in the dirt. Logan Bingham gets out of the inning with no damage, No runs on 2 hits, no errors, 3 left on base for the Big Train as we head to the bottom of the first. Between innings, Jackson, they were playing tricky by DMC, and it's been very tricky to hit today's Big Train starter, Drew Bellis. He is 2-0 on the year with a 1.64 ERA. Most notably, he leads the league in strikeouts with 24 to only 4 walks.
It's a ratio untouched by anyone else in the league. Bellis has been electric every time he's taken the mound.
First pitch to the leadoff man, Nick Flores, is a sizzling fastball right down the middle for strike 1.
And that's been it. He has great stuff, but he also pounds the zone with that great stuff. I mean, he lives in uncomfortable areas for hitters.
Bellis now comes to the plate again. Fastball bounces in the dirt. Count even at 1-1. Nick Flores, a sophomore infielder from VCU, a native of Royersford, Pennsylvania, hitting .298 on the young season. Bellis kicks and delivers. Fastball misses inside to Flores. He's ahead in the count, 2-1.
Bellis does have to face some tough customers in the Southern Maryland Senators. They have 87 runs as a team. That's second most in the league, and 31 extra base hits, also second most.
1-1 lined up the middle and through for a base hit. Nick Flores with a leadoff single. Ball is bobbled and centered by Peltier, but he's able to recollect it before Flores advances. He thought about it, took a big turn at first. But it's been hard to hit Drew Bellis this year. He has been nigh untouchable. Only a .222 average against lefties and a .212 average against righties. It'll be a lefty standing in the form of Dawson Smale for at-bat number 2 of Bellis' outing. Smale, a sophomore utility man from Xavier University. He takes down and away for ball 1.
Smale, also the source of my most ignominious moment, according to some at least, on the broadcast so far this year. People did not like the Smale ball pun.
Another fastball down and away, 2-0 on Smale. We'll see if he incorporates some Smale ball here to try to advance a runner, maybe. Bellis, I mean, he only averages 1.6 runs per 9 innings, so if you can advance runners any way you can, might be a good idea. Flores with an aggressive lead off of first. Bellis comes to the plate, fastball over the plate for strike 1. 2-1 on Smale.
That pitch might have been just a bit outside, but Jacob Hawk is a very, very good receiver behind the plate. I mean, he's a plus framer like few at the collegiate level are.
The lefty Billis looks at the runner at first, now comes to the plate. Misses high, 3-1 to Smale.
You have to come in here to Dawson Smale. He's hitting 278, but he's an on-base guy, not a power guy. You're getting into some big boppers once you get in the middle of this order.
Inside, and Smale takes a walk. He now has 9 walks on the year to only 6 strikeouts. Came into this game with a .519 on base, and that will improve as he's to first and Flores is to second, and Carter Groen steps to the plate.
The junior from Missouri City, Texas, is a big swinger. He's hitting just 161, but has 4 extra base hits of his 5 total knocks. He wants to find a gap or head it over the wall.
He lines it up the middle, slowly dropping, and it will get down in front of Peltier, and he lets it go past him. He overran the ball. Coming home is Flores. He will score. Around third is Smale. Throw will come to the plate from Corbin. It gets past Hawk. Normally a sure fielding big train team. They misplay the ball twice. Groen with at least 1 RBI on the single, but 2 runs scored. It's 2-0 Senators.
Yeah, Peltier trying to come up with it quickly and gun it home, and he just didn't come up with it cleanly. As you said, it slipped under his glove, and Flores had stopped at third base. He was able to get home, but Smale was still going, and he hit third hard, rounded, and evaded the relay throw from Parker Corbin.
So Groen up to second, 2-0 Senators after 2 hits from the first 3 batters, and there's still nobody out as the lefty Danny Surowick stands in. Bellis looks back the runner at second, now delivers a fastball just beneath the knees to Surowick. Surowick, a sophomore corner infielder from Boston College, a native of Westchester, Pennsylvania, hitting .242 with a .405 on base. He takes a fastball on the outer half for strike 1.
The first trouble that Bellis has really had to contend with this year. I mean, the runs he's given up have been ticky-tack.
Misses high and in to Surowick, 2-1 the count.
He's given up 2 runs all year, and they were both a result of some infield hits and some plays that should have been called errors but weren't. These have been hits.
Surowick takes a fastball down and away, 3-1. We mentioned only 4 walks on the year for Bellis, but already 1 here in the first and in danger of allowing a second one. 3-1 on Surowick. Bellis takes a big deep breath, looks back the runner now, comes to the plate, gets the fastball over the plate for strike 2.
Got to get the out here. And if you put the 4th straight on, it's tough, especially with 2 of those being lefties. Bellis having the natural advantage. Want to come in here to Surowick.
Payoff. Surowick pops one slowly down the line and left, and it falls just fair by a matter of maybe a foot. Coming around from second and scoring is Groen. Up to second with a double is Danny Surowick.
And he makes the pitch he wants there. He gets it in on the hands of Surowick, and all Surowick can do with it is flare it to the opposite field, but he gets enough on it and keeps it fair. It's a good piece of hitting by Surowick to better a pretty solid piece of pitching by Bellis, who is getting jobbed a bit here. I mean, Groen's hit was a bloop. Surowick's hit is probably about 60 off the bat there, but Southern Maryland is hanging tough, putting in good at-bats against a very good pitcher.
3 runs home and nobody out in the top of the first. First pitch swinging from the 5-hitter, Chet Bowling. He fouls it straight into the net. And Drew Bellis has been untouchable this year, but Southern Maryland, their bats are some of the best in the Ripken League. 0-1 misses inside to Bowling.
Bellis showing a bit of frustration on the mound. I mean, he's looked so good throughout this year, having to face some adversity.
Kick in the fire, popped up high in the air down the right field line, but it'll get out of play.
I mean, but This is why the Sens have been the best team in the league so far this year. They're 9-2 because they do a whole lot of stuff well. They hit, they pitch, they field. I mean, they are a complete baseball team right now.
They were winners of 9 in a row before yesterday's loss to the Alexandria Aces. Bellis delivers outside, 2-2 on bowling. They lost on opening day to the Metro Soco Braves, but then 9 straight. Bellis delivers upstairs, another full count on bowling. And already 21 pitches in this inning for Bellis before he's even recorded an out. 3-0 Senators, runner on second. Nobody out. Bellis kicks and fires the payoff inside to bowling. The second walk of the inning for Bellis, and the first 5 men have all reached for the Senators.
It just looks like for Bellis, the release point isn't quite dialed in on the 2-2 pitch upstairs. He just sort of let it pop out of his hand, couldn't finish the pitch, and then tried to correct that mistake, overcorrected, and pulled it glove side.
Pitching coach Craig Lopez out to the mound to have a talk with Bellis. He pitched earlier, or not too long ago. His last game was on the 19th against Gaithersburg. It's been only 4 days since then. He pitched 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. But the top team in the league, the Southern Maryland Senators, giving him all he can handle right now. Mound meeting is over. Bellis looking visibly frustrated on the mound. 3 runs so far on 3 hits for the Senators. 1 error for the big train in the inning. To go with 2 walks as well. MJ Phillips into the box from the left-handed side. Bellis looks back the runner at second, kicks and delivers. Fastball right down Broadway for strike 1.
That's all Bellis needs to do is just fill up. He doesn't, with his overpowering stuff, doesn't have to get too cute with it. Just throw your best stuff near the middle.
Fastball up and in on MJ Phillips. Count even at 1-1. Phillips 5 for 20 on the year at .250 average. He has 1 RBI. Bellis nods, comes sit at the belt, and deals. Fastball just beneath the knees. 2-1 on Phillips. Runners on first and second. Still nobody out in the top half of the first. Senators lead the big train 3-0. Bellis kicks and fires. Fastball at the letters for strike 2.
It's a good pitch there. Working with the fastball, the breaking ball, which has devastated the hitters all across the league so far this year, hasn't been with him today, but a good couple of fastballs has him in a 2-strike count.
2-2. Fastball misses up. And yet another full count. The Senators being very patient, not swinging at anything off the plate.
He's thrown 27 pitches before recording an out. I mean, you can't let this inning get too long for Bellis, for his health.
Payoff. Check swing. No swing, says our plate umpire. 3 walks in the inning for Bellis, and the bases are now loaded.
We can't see the big train bullpen from this vantage point, but I mean, you really don't want a pitcher, especially on a day like today, throwing more than 35 or so pitches in any given inning. It's potentially dangerous for anybody. And so you have to think they'll be getting someone ready soon in case Bellis reaches that mark. It's already at 28 now.
Lucas Grantham steps in, a sophomore catcher out of Georgia State. First pitch to him is over the plate for a strike. Grantham hitting .250, but another guy with strong on base skills. He has 8 walks to only 2 strikeouts, good for a .516 on base. He pops one high in the air towards his own dugout. Panette is giving chase. He's right at the fence and makes the catch right up against the wall of the dugout. And Bellis records his first out with no damage coming across.
There's a lot of foul territory here at Regency Furniture Stadium, and Logan Panett takes full advantage of it. Good job by Panett. Beats the ball to the spot, doesn't just drift towards the dugout, because that's when you can get surprised running into the wall and you lose track. But he gets over there, puts his hand out, finds where he is, and then makes the catch, helps out his pitcher, who now has an avenue out of this inning.
Alex Martin now steps in from the right side. Corners playing in for the Big Train, trying to potentially cut down a run at home. First pitch is a fastball inside and at the letters for a strike. Martin, a sophomore utility player from Gulf Coast Community College, has only appeared in 3 games this year as a pinch hitter. This is his first start. Slider misses down and away, and Hawk bobbled the ball a little bit, but gets back on top of it. Now but Surwick not able to advance from third. It's Surwick on third, Bowling at second, Phillips at first. Bases loaded, 1 out, top half of the first, 3-0. The Senators lead the Big Train. Deep breath from Bellis. Now fires. Swing and a miss by Martin. 1-2.
Bellis, after that out, this plate appearance, finding his rhythm a bit more. Looks hopefully to be just settling into the game a little bit. Just took him a few batters to get there, unfortunately.
1-2. Called. Strike 3. Fastball just beneath the letters. Gets Martin looking. So back-to-back outs for Bellis as he looks to leave the bases loaded and limit the damage to 3. Cale Vinson will step in to try to flip the lineup back to the top. He made his first appearance of the season yesterday in a pinch hit spot against the Alexandria Aces. He did not get on base, but much like Martin, he's making his first start today. First pitch is right down Broadway for strike 1. 3 runs already home, but Bellis trying to leave the bases loaded. Fastball again over the plate for strike 2.
Limiting the damage, so crucial for the Big Train. In the early season, when they started 1-3, crooked numbers were often the biggest issue.
Half swing, appeal to first, a full swing in the eyes of our first base umpire. Back-to-back strikeouts gets Bellis out of the inning, but the Senators bat around their first time up, and they score 3 runs. They lead at 3-0 as we head to the second. For the home squad, the Southern Maryland Senators, as we move to the top half of the second. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Big Train. Panett, Wesley, and Ott. Logan Bingham out for his second inning of work for the Senators. First pitch to the leadoff man, Wesley, taken down and away.
Bingham able to end the first in 18 pitches, which was Good sign for maybe his longevity in this game. Want to keep it under 20 per inning as a general rule.
Yeah, Bellis in the top half of the first, 37 pitches. 1-1 to Wesley. Grounded down the line and fair. This ball will roll all the way into the corner. Wesley on his way towards second, and he will get there with a stand-up double.
Good swing by Wesley, hitting it hard down the third base line. He'll run into an extra base hit for sure. That is now his 5th on the season. Actually 6th, his 5th double on the season, 6 total extra base hit.
That'll bring Brett Ott to the plate. With a runner on second and nobody out. Logan Bingham set at the belt. Ott shows bunt, pulls it back. Fastball misses inside for ball 1.
Ott on the season is 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. That's been his biggest struggle so far this year. He's got a great eye, walked 10 times in total.
He grounds one, diving stop at first by Phillips, but it scoots past him. Ott is able to reach, and Jackson 0 for no longer with the runners in scoring position.
Yeah, jumped on that pitch, hit it hard towards first. That would have been one of those where you feel like you can't win if Phillips was actually able to knock it down. As it was, it squirts away. The runner doesn't score, but there's still nobody out. Runners at the corners for Jacob Hawk, who, despite it being rain interrupted a bit, is swinging a hot bat.
A 4.12 average and a 5.77 on base for the Maryland Terrapin. He takes a fastball down the middle for strike 1. And also Ott with some pretty serious speed, able to get down there. Manning right field today, but he's one of the faster players on the Big Train roster. Tying run at the plate, Hawk awaits. There goes Ott for second. Throw down, not in time. Coming home is Wesley. The throw gets away. He dives in safely. Ott is moving up to third. He will sit there. The Big Train with an aggressive double steal, and Wesley steals home.
Yeah, good read by Wesley and just making things happen. I mean, a perfect throw might get Wesley coming home, but you have to make that perfect throw, and shortstop Flores coming in, tries to toss on the run, sails it, and it's a free tally for the Big Train. And now a runner in Ott back at third, swapping places with Wesley.
And with nobody out, just a ground ball or a decently far fly ball from Hawk would make this just a 1-run game. Hawk grounds one over to third, stopped by Surwick, throws across the diamond in time. Ott not able to advance from third.
Yeah, it's one of about 3 places Hawk could have hit a batted ball that doesn't score Brett Ott there. Bit unfortunate because he didn't strike that all too poorly. He hit it pretty hard, but on the ground and right at Surwick, who swallows it up on a neatly manicured infield. It's being a pro stadium, home of the Atlantic League's Southern Maryland Blue Crabs.
There's very heavy signage all throughout the outfield, and there's even some signs out into the outfield grass that reach up to as high as 30 feet maybe. First pitch to Peltier is a strike as the lineup flips over. There is a Jumbotron also in right field. Bingham set and deals. Swing and a miss by Peltier at a pitch well below the zone. He's down 0-2.
Peltier, I mean, he's rocking now a 9-game hit streak. 6 of those games have included multiple hits for him. That's why he's hitting 442, best in the league. Big spot for another hit to add to the ledger.
0-2. Taken down and away for a ball. You'd really like to see Peltier at least put something in play good enough to score that run from third. Southern Maryland does not make too many errors. You don't really want to be leaving runners on third base with nobody out. 1-2. Peltier swings and misses at a fastball for strike 3.
That's good work by Bingham there, faced with a tough hitter in Peltier in that situation. And with a runner on third, nobody out, he's parlayed it into a situation that favors him quite a bit more. 2 dead now. And facing Brennan Wright.
Wright was able to punch a single back up the middle in his first at-bat. And it will take a hit to score Ott from third. Bingham delivers grounded sharply down the third base line, but just fouled by a matter of inches.
Yeah, nearly got that, and that would have been 2, maybe 3 for Brennan Wright, probably just 2 being the left field line. But it's a game of inches, and that one favors the Senators. It's a eventful strike for Bingham.
4 hits for the big train there, first time through the order, but only able to push across the 1 run. They have a runner on third and 2 out for Brennan Wright. He takes a slider just outside for a ball. 1-1 on the future South Alabama Jaguar. That is where Brennan Wright will be heading to out of the transfer portal. 1-1. Grounded sharply, but stabbed by Vincent, the second baseman, throw to first just in time to get right. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base as we head to the bottom of the second. Senators as we go to the bottom of the second. And the top of the lineup is back up for the Senators as they batted around in the first inning. It'll be Flores, Smale, and Groen, 1, 2, 3 to start the second. For the best record in the league, the Southern Maryland Senators sitting at 9-2. Drew Bellis out for our second inning of work. Shakes twice, now nods, has the pitch he likes. Into the windup, and it's a fastball over the plate for strike 1.
It took a whole lot of doing for them to lose their first game since opening day last night. They led 7-2 after 3, but then Alexandria, the Aces, scored 6 unanswered runs through the balance of the game to snap that winning streak.
Fastball down and away to Flores. Bellis into the windup for pitch number 3 of the second inning. Fastball on the inner half for a strike.
Flores dumped a single into center last inning. Bellis hoping the second trip through the lineup is less eventful than the first.
Into the windup. Fouled straight back into the net. 1-2 on Nick Flores. He singled up the middle in his first at-bat. Later came around to score the first run for the Senators. They pushed across 3 runs. The first 6 batters all reached base, but Bellis able to end the inning well. A lazy pop-up and 2 strikeouts, ending the inning. 1-2. Flores just chops it into the dirt and foul.
This is an at-bat we're more used to seeing against Drew Bellis. He's kept a pretty darn good hitter in Flores off balance throughout the plate appearance, forcing some weak foul balls and defensive swings.
1-2. Misses and gets all the way to the backstop. Fastball above the head of Flores.
That's something we haven't seen a ton from Bellis, but have seen a handful of times today, is the bad miss. Nolan just flies out of the hand.
2-2. Bellis into the windup, looking for the strikeout. Fastball driven high and deep in the air towards right center field. Ott has a beat on it in the gap, and he makes the catch for the first out.
It's a spacious outfield here at Regency Furniture. There's more room here than just about any field in the Cal Ripken League. So lots of greenery for Ott to scamper across. Makes the play there.
Dawson Smale now steps to the plate, walked and later came around to score in his first at-bat. Bellis looking for a better result, going lefty on lefty. Sails a fastball high for ball one. Throwback from Hawk got away. Second baseman Corbin over to grab it. Bellis is 1-0. Fastball just catches the low outside corner for strike one.
As we get further into this game, Bellis being able to hold the Senators to 3 runs last inning may prove huge. I mean, Big Train's offense is not out of a game pretty much ever. Them scoring nearly 10 runs a contest, and a 3-run deficit has already been cut into.
Curveball is over the plate. 1-2 count now. Delivery from Bellis. Fastball misses outside. And Bellis, normally a very accurate pitcher, but 25 strikes to 23 balls. 2 pitches shy of 50. 3-1 count for his 49th pitch. Popped up foul and out of play along the third base side from Smale, and the count's now full.
Throughout this season, 72% of his first pitches have been strikes, and he's throwing about 2/3 strikes in general, and he's about 50-50 today, a big difference.
Payoff to Smale. Just misses low, and I guess the count was 2-2. The in-stadium scoreboard read 3-2. So now it's a full count on Smale. Bellis into the windup for the payoff. Fastball misses down and away, and Smale has his second walk of the day.
Yeah, he's a guy who's up there just looking to get on. He takes his walk with the best of them. Smale on the season has now taken 10 free trips to first. This is his 4th game with multiple walks.
Carter Groen now steps in. The big power hitter was able to loop a soft single into center field his first at-bat. Has a runner on first and 1 out. Takes a fastball inside from Bellis for a ball. And Groen, with the season is still young, so stats should be taken with a little bit of a grain of salt. But he's hitting 161. However, 2 home runs on the year, a big slugging guy, the junior outfielder out of UConn. He's ahead in the count 2-0. We'll see if he tries to attack. Bellis fires. He does attack. This ball's popped up along the first base side, but it just gets over the net and into the seats for a strike, foul ball strike.
Rattles around the green bucket seats here at Regency Furniture Stadium. This place has a capacity in the thousands, well outstripping any other field in the league, but they don't quite fill it up as much as the Blue Crabs do.
The Big Train have the next highest capacity stadium, but only at 700. Change up in the dirt, swing and a miss by Groen, but able to reach second is Smale as the ball squirts away from Hawk.
That's a play that base runners work on all the time throughout the year, is getting the read on the dirt ball. You'll watch pitches over and over again from coaches sometimes and just try and get that timing right when you see the downward angle out of the hand so you can get a free bag like that.
2-2 from Bellis to Groen, a beautiful slider dropping down and in, and Groen waves at it for strike 3.
Even on an off day, he has 3 strikeouts and an inning in 2/3, and putting up a 0 after a long first inning would be very good work from the young lefty.
And even if he were able to get through another inning, you can live with 3 runs through 3 innings. The Big Train average just under 10 runs a game, and they've already scored 1, so definitely not out of it. Surowick, now the batter. Bellis delivers him a fastball on the inner half for strike 1.
There's been exactly 1 game this year where the Big Train have scored less than 5 runs. So this is still a ball game.
Change up in the dirt, a big swing and a miss from Surowick. And Jackson, in that game, they were able to win it 3-1 against the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts, who they are currently battling at the top of the North Division. The Thunderbolts sit 1 game back at 7-5. Bellis fires a fastball that just misses outside to Surowick. 1-2 now the count on the big lefty.
It's a good pitch, good location, just doesn't get the call there. It's right where you want to throw that.
1-2. Another fastball. This one catches the outer half of the plate for strike 3. 4 strikeouts through 2 innings for Drew Bellis. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base as we head to the top half of the 3rd. 3-1 Senators. Senators as we head to the top half of the 3rd. 3-4-5 due up for the Big Train. First pitch to Corbin, grounded sharply towards second, but Vincent stabs it, makes a nice throw to first for the first out.
2 decent swings from Parker Corbin today. They've both just found defenders. That one is a Sunday hop for the second baseman, Vincent.
So now Emilio Gonzalez will step in. He doubled in his first at-bat. Sharply hit into the right field corner. We'll see what he has in store for his second at-bat. He takes an off-speed pitch just at the letters for a strike.
Obviously, Big Train fans know how good of a hitter Gonzalez is from last year. But this year, it feels like he's been a video game character, just getting experience game by game. Started out with a mediocre start to the season, then found his singles game, lined a few singles around, and in these last few, he's got 3 doubles in his last 4 games, adding the extra base power that's always been there to the ledger this year.
Changeup missed in the dirt. 1-1 count. And the FAU first baseman, he swings and drives one deep in the air towards right field. Groen is back on it just in front of the warning track, and he makes the catch for the second out.
Just a bit under that. If you play in at one of these shorter fields, that may have a chance towards the wall, or at very least make it hard on Groen out there, given the space out here in the outfield. There's no distance markers on the walls, but it's plenty spacious.
Easily 400 in center, maybe even 420. Skoronski now in, walked in his first at bat. He swings and waves at a changeup in the dirt for strike 1. Corbin and Gonzalez, 2 quick outs here in the third, but both balls were hit hard. Skoronski takes a fastball outside for ball 1.
The Google Maps method of measuring distance says 400 to straightaway center and a cavernous 360 to straightaway right field.
Yeah, Gonzalez with that fly ball towards deep right. That probably leaves that Shirley Povich field, which is only 330 down the line. 2-1 the count on Skoronski. He swings and grounds one that is stabbed by the first baseman Phillips, turns and throws to the pitcher Bingham covering. A 3-1 putout. Big Train down in order as we head to the bottom of the third. Bottom half of the third here from Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf, Maryland. The home squad, the Southern Maryland Senators, lead the Bethesda Big Train 3-1. So far, 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error for the Senators, 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error for the Big Train. Chet Bowling will lead things off for the Senators. Collegiate teammates with the Big Train's Josh Skoronski. They both attend Winthrop. Bowling is from Faulkner, Maryland, and is hitting .267 so far on the 2025 season. He walked in his first at-bat against Drew Bellis. Bellis now on for his 3rd inning of work and gets Bowling to wave at a fastball for strike 1.
Also teammates with Chet Bowling at Winthrop is Brad Golfing and Tommy Playing Pool. They like to recruit guys with names of casual sports over there.
Fastball upstairs.
I got a standing ovation from all the people in the press box. They loved it. They loved that joke.
It went right over. I don't even get
Chet Bowling.
that ball runs inside and hits Bowling, and he will reach first the hard way. Continue.
You know, like you go bowling, you also go golfing. You play like this is the casual sports you play. His name is Bowling.
You guys can't see our group of interns.
They
but
love it.
Our
They love
producer, Gibby Hurt, is giving a big thumbs down.
Nope, he's not. Then they can't get
He's
on the air, so
not.
they
Don't
can't tell you
lie.
different. They can't tell you different. They all loved it.
First pitch to MJ Phillips is a fastball right down Broadway for strike one.
You know, you mentioned it last inning, but if Bellis is able to finish his day 3 runs in 3 innings, that's something that obviously from your, at this point, ace you don't love, but you'll really take from the way this game started. I mean, the final output is keeping your team in the game, which you'll take every day.
Phillips was the last guy to reach base in the first inning after the first 6 batters of the game reached for Southern Maryland. And he takes a fastball on the outer half for strike 3. That's 5 strikeouts for Bellis.
5 strikeouts of the last 8 that he's faced. He's zeroing in as he goes. The pitch count is rising as he gets further into this game. It's now up to 66.
Lucas Grantham into the box. He popped out in foul territory. His first at-bat. That was the first out of the game for Bellis in the first. Kicks in, fires, ground ball to short. This could be to right to Corbin for 1. Relay to Gonzalez. In time, 6-4-3. And Bellis out of the inning with no damage as he faces the minimum. I'll hand things off to Jackson Corcoran for the middle innings from Regency Furniture Stadium. 3-1 Senators.
After a scoring-filled start to this game, it's now just 3-1 after 3 innings. Logan Bingham returning to the hill to face 6, 7, and 8 in the big train lineup. Logan Panett leading things off, and he takes strike 1.
Yeah, Panett, he's been struggling a little bit. Was hitting cleanup all year, got moved down to 6 today.
He hits that hard on 2 hops towards Surwick, hits off his chest, comes up and gathers, and throws a dart to Phillips at first to retire his counterpart at third base, Logan Panett.
And that ball was hit hard, too. It just seems like Panett, in these last couple games, has struggled to find some outfield grass. That ball was hit very hard on the ground, but a nice stop over there by Surwick, bobbled it, but able to keep it in front of him to make the play. A lot of first pitch swinging from the big train today. Bingham only sitting at 44 pitches as he works into the third.
Here comes Matt Wesley. He has a double so far today, one of a pair of two baggers for the big train.
And he came around to score on a double steal. Brett Ott took second while he was on third, and he came around.
That's softly hit down the third base line. And Wesley is going to reach first without a throw. Infield single for Wesley. And there's a runner on with one out for Brett Ott.
And Wesley just continues to stay hot. He's been seeing the ball very well. And sometimes we just said Panette struggling, hits a ball hard, stopped by the third baseman. That time just a slow grounder down the first base line. Wesley able to reach. That's just how baseball works sometimes.
Ott has a single and a stolen base. The first half of a double steal that allowed Wesley to score the big train's only run. Coming into this game, Ott hitting .227 with a .485 on base percentage. He lines that one down the right field line. It is down in fair territory. Scooting towards the corner, picked up by Groen. The throw goes into second. Ott slides in safely. The third double of the day for the big train has runners at second and third, one away.
Tying run now in scoring position, nobody out. 6 hits so far for the big train, including, like you said, Jackson, now 3 doubles. It's paramount, though, that they get at least one of these runs to score. They left a runner on third with nobody out in the second inning. Hawk is up right now, who swinging a hot bat this year. Then the lineup flips over. Got to feel like this is the time to tie the game. I know it's early, but you can't be giving away outs against the Senators.
The Terp catcher has 8 RBI on the season and takes a fastball high from Bingham for ball 1. He's 5 for 10 on the year against right-handed pitching. Swings and pops it over our makeshift broadcast booth. I say makeshift. We're set up in a game day suite just to the right of the press box proper, with that press box filled with Blue Crabs and Senators equipment and personnel. It's a very, very nice setup. All things considered, we're grateful to the Southern Maryland Senators for it. Pitch to Hawk is waved at and missed for strike 2.
Yeah, we got a nice round table here, a nice couch for the rest of our intern crew to sit. Gibson Hurt slicing and dicing on the producing side today.
And there's AC in here. Most important thing. Slider outside. Count is even at 2-2. But really is a very nice independent league ballpark here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Well maintained, nice spacious concourse. Video board out there in right field. There's the berm right below that. 2-2 to Hawk is outside ball 3. There's a range of luxury boxes up on the second deck. One of those is the one we're in. And then down left field, there's a Legends Club with an indoor bar and seating.
They also gave us free Panda Express.
All for the Senators. Not all for that pitch. It's a fastball right in there. Hawk takes strike 3, going down looking with runners at second and third.
Yeah, not a great look right there. Just a strikeout, probably the last thing you wanted there. It keeps the runners on second and third. Peltier now, who we know, one of the best hitters in the league. In fact, he leads the entire league in average, but struck out with that runner on third back in the second inning, looking for a better result here.
Has knocked in 10 runs on the season from the leadoff spot. That's a pretty outstanding mark. He takes ball 1 low. On the season, he is 6 for 9 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. And that's exactly the situation he finds himself in here.
And he's hitting .500 with runners in scoring position just in total.
The 1-0 to him is a steerite called, fastball at the knees.
And Bingham cruising so far, at least in the strike to ball department, 35 strikes to just 18 balls.
had one walk back in the first that loaded the bases, then immediately erased it with a strikeout. It's a swing and a miss from Peltier, the bat rather, slipping out of his hand with a big hack. He waves the bat out towards Bingham on the mound, steps back into the box, taps both edges of the plate, and stares out towards the 6-7 righty, waiting for his 1-2. Swing and a miss, or he just might have gotten a piece of it.
Yeah, he barely tipped it below the glove of the catcher Grantham, and he got hit a little hard, maybe below the shin guard.
The way Peltier reacted, it looked like he missed that baseball, but you're right, it did tip off his bat and off the body of Grantham, who went down for a second. He's now up and has returned to his squat. Grantham bounces around a bit on his toes, now puts down the sign and is ready for Bingham to deliver another 1-2 pitch. He's set at the letters, the delivery. Swing and a miss, this time for real. Peltier goes down swinging. 4 Ks in the game for Logan Bingham, and the Senators maintain their 3-1 lead. Montgomery County, you can send them to our Big Train summer baseball camps. Spots are still available for sessions later on in the summer. Head to bigtrain.org/summercamp, bigtrain.org/summercamp to reserve your spot today.
It's a good thing they have the guys on the field teaching the kids how to play and not us, Jackson. They might learn a thing or two.
If they learn from me, they learn a whole lot about how to throw fastballs outside of the zone. I have plenty of experience in that particular category. How to throw your curveball below 60 miles an hour.
That is not a crash course that the kids need. That the youth of Montgomery County needs.
Lucas Marrero taking the mound to replace Drew Bellis. He went 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Struck out 5 and walked 4. And now Marrero heads into the ball game. His 3rd appearance on the year. He is 0-1 with a 5.79 earned run average. That pitch is fouled back by Alex Martin. Count is now 1-1.
Yeah, and all the runs that he's allowed on the season were on the 5th of June, and they all came with 2 outs against the Crop Dusters. He was saddled with the loss in that one, but other than really that, he's been strong. Has yet to give up a hit against a lefty.
Martin hitting from the right side. He struck out once today, and he lines that one down the third base line, eludes the glove of Panette and goes into the corner, kicks off some fencing down there, and is away from Wesley. He's able to get it in and hold Martin to a double, but Marrero gives up extra bases to start his day.
Yeah, that ball really got away from Wesley down there in left. That ball kicked off what I believe looks like a door to the bullpen over in the foul territory along the wall, and it just kicked off straight past him. It's like a really bad hop. He's lucky today he was able to get back on that ball and make a strong throw to third, which holds Martin at second.
There is a right-hander warming in the Southern Maryland bullpen. That might be welcome respite for the Big Train, who have struggled to produce against Logan Bingham. That's a high pop fly in foul territory. Emilio Gonzalez comes in and makes the catch to retire Cale Vinson for out number 1.
That's definitely something that you like as a pitcher after giving up a leadoff double, some first pitch swinging, and Vincent maybe a little over aggressive there, got really under that ball, high pop up, and once again, Jackson, a lot of foul territory here for Gonzalez to track that ball.
Plenty of room. Made the catch on a University of Maryland Charles Regional ad. First pitch from Marrero to the leadoff hitter Nick Flores is called a strike. Marrero just finished up his freshman year at Lynchburg University, has a slightly closed stance in the stretch. Pitches here, that's inside and off the glove of Hawk all the way to the backstop, and Martin moves to third base.
Yeah, it's hot outside. I don't envy catchers at all. I think you'd like to see Hawk come up with that, but when it feels like 106 outside and your catcher misses a pitch a little bit inside, hard to get too upset. I don't envy being in all that gear today.
Absolutely not. There's a 1-1, and that's lined into left field. Down the line, that is twisting, but it's going to land fair. Off the wall, another extra base hit. Trotting home is Alex Martin, and it's 4-1 Senators.
And how many balls so far, Jackson, for the Senators have just barely been fair by a matter of feet? That ball was on the dirt of the warning track, but just fair by a matter of less than a foot, maybe.
But fair it is. Another extra base hit for the hosts. The third on the day, second in the inning. And now Marrero faces a lefty in Dawson Smale. There was a breaking ball outside. This one smothered by Hawk. Big Train are a game above their closest foe, the Thunderbolts, in the division. They had game 1 of a doubleheader canceled. That pitch is away from Hawk again outside. And again, advancing to third. This time it's Flores. But that game 1 canceled. A 9 o'clock game is still on the schedule between the Thunderbolts and Metro South County Braves.
And they sit 2 games ahead of the Crop Dusters after yesterday's win, and the Alexandria Aces are taking it to them right now, up 8-2. So you'd like to see the Big Train get a win here with one of their divisional rivals dropping a game.
Swing and a miss on that pitch by Smale. To round out our look at the Cal Ripken scoreboard, the DC Grays are beating the Gaithersburg Giants by a tally of 5-0.
Yeah, the Grays know how to hit. They have some strong hitters on that team.
Off-speed pitch dives below the bat of Smale. Second straight cut and a miss, and it's now 2-2.
Yeah, with a runner on third and 1 out, every single member of the Big Train infield playing on the grass, trying to keep this lead at 3 any means possible.
Cut on and missed. Marrero retires Smale via the strikeout, his first of the day. The Senators' 6th of the evening, and there's 1 dead for Carter Groen.
That's a big strikeout. Runner on third, one out. Not allowing contact is huge because now it's going to take a hit from Groen to get this run home. And the big power right-hander with a low average, not necessarily the perfect guy for just a excuse me single to get a run home from third and 2 out.
Check swing, yes he did, for strike one. But that's exactly what he hit back in the first inning, a bloop single that scored 2 after the ball was overrun by Alex Peltier in center. Marrero 2 strikes away from limiting the damage in this inning with another run 90 feet away. Gets a hack that finds nothing but air from Groen.
Yeah, he looked like he was swinging for a home run right there. That was a hack.
Marrero streets ahead in this count. The 0-2 coming. A 55-footer, very nice block by Jacob Hawk. Had to jump up to keep that ball in front of him, and it didn't squeak more than 2 inches or so away from the Maryland catcher.
And that's huge with the runner on third. I know we gave Hawk a little bit of grief for letting that fastball get to the backstop, but made up for it there. That's a huge block to keep that runner at third.
Run-saving play, without a doubt. Groen now faces a 1-2. Fastball at the hands for ball 2. Off speed is below the zone. Count is full. Danny Surowick awaits on deck. He has a double and a strikeout in today's game. The right fielder Groen waggles the bat against Marrero. He's set at the belt. Uncoils and fires. Popped foul and out of play.
Yeah, this is a battle right now between Marrero and Groen. A big spot here with the runner on third. The Big Train have big run potential, but you'd like to keep this lead at just 3.
Pitch. Ball 4 low. Here comes Surowick. He'll have runners at the corners.
And you gotta at least like the lefty-lefty matchup somewhat here with Marrero. He's very strong against same-sided hitters, but struggling this year against opposite side.
He gives a check to Groen at first, and the first delivery to Surowick is fouled away out of the stadium. Fastball in there for strike 2. Marrero again getting ahead in the count. Now it's his charge to finish this at bat.
0-2. I doubt we see anything in the zone. Probably trying to get Surowick to chase.
The fire is low for ball 1.
And he went down and away. I like that pitch. No need to really give him anything too nice to hit with the 0-2 count. And you still have options here at 1 and 2 to try to end this inning.
Marrero puffs out of breath, comes set. Checks on the runner, now delivers. Swinging a line drive towards Gonzalez, who leaps and makes the catch. Saves at least 1 run, probably 2, with a jumping snag. And we are through 4. The Senators score 1 run on 2 hits that inning and now lead 4-1. done after posting a very solid start. 4 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned, issued just 1 walk, and struck out 4, stranded 6 runners, 5 of them in scoring position, Quincy.
Yeah, he did a great job of emergency, like leaving runners on base, getting out of jams. The Big Train so far have left 6 total runners on base, like you said, 5 of them in scoring position. Just not able, 6 hits, but not able to find the big one against Bingham.
First pitch from the new right-hander, Alan Miller, goes to Brennan Wright. He squared to bunt and fouled it off. Second pitch to Wright is a soft ground ball to the right side of the infield, but it went off of Wright's foot before going anywhere. So that's going to be a foul ball, sending Wright back into the batter's box. Miller hails from Mechanicsville, Maryland, a 6'5" pitcher who attends Shepherd College, has a 3.6 ERA this year.
Bears backup quarterback Tyson Bagent, also from Shepherd College. That's the only notable alum I could think of.
Tie bags. The 0-2 to Wright. He checks his swing and takes ball 1. Speaking of Chicago sports, the greatest rivalry in baseball taking place today. Start of a 4-game series between the Cardinals and Cubs. You know, Quincy and I will be locked into those games when we're not working Big Train ones. That pitch is fouled away by Wright, still 1-2.
Yeah, I'm from a town in Indiana that's 30 minutes from Chicago. Grew up a Cubs fan, was born into it. Jackson from the St. Louis area, a Cardinals fan.
Also a Big Train fan, and hoping for a Brennan Wright leadoff knock here. He takes low and outside a fastball that skirts the edge of the zone, flirts with it, but never falls in. It's ball 2.
It's a great take right there with 2 strikes. That backdoor breaking ball is a tough pitch to lay off.
Brennan Wright folds at the waist and just pokes the bat out at the baseball, fouling it off to remain in this plate appearance.
Yeah, Brennan Wright, you know, he's reached base in every single Big Train game. A lot of them via walks and just scrapping out at bats. He's a guy that is going to go up there and put a battle.
He swings and lines it into center field for a base hit. Lead-off single for Brennan Wright, and that is when he's at his very best, Quincy. Leading off innings, leading off games, leading off innings. Brennan Wright is now 7 for 10 in those situations. Best on the team.
Yeah, well, he led off the first 2 games of the season before Alex Peltier got to town while he was still playing at East Carolina. The Big Train lost both of those games, but it wasn't because Brennan Wright was playing poorly. He's a leadoff type hitter. Sal Colangelo likes to put him in the second spot as sort of an old-fashioned 2-hitter.
Ball 1 outside to Corbin, but Brennan Wright, there's a certain skill to being able to lead off, to being able to get right into a game, see a pitcher for the first time, not get those warm-up hacks, not be able to time against live hitting, and Brennan Wright clearly has that skill. I mean, he hit at the top of the lineup for his community college, Meridian, and is doing so for the Big Train. He's been in the 1 or 2 hole every game he's started. Corbin takes strike 1 here.
Yeah, I believe he's hit second in every single game other than the first 2.
And when he has hit in that second spot, you are absolutely right, Quincy. The Big Train are 8-1. Corbin swings and grounds it towards second base, fielded by Vincent. Backhand flip to short, and the delivery over to first is in time to erase Brennan Wright and retire Parker Corbin for 6-3 double play, and there's 2 down in the 5th.
Yeah, the Big Train this season, they've done a great job, I think, of not stranding runners too often. Normally, their amount of hits matches the amount of runs that they have, but not today. 1 run to only 7 hits. You just got to give credit to Southern Maryland making a lot of very timely pitches and some great defensive plays. That was a very smooth turn between Vincent Flores and Phillips.
First pitch to Gonzalez is inside. On the season, the Senators are tied for 3rd in the league in fielding percentage with a .959 mark. They've committed 16 errors. That is just their 5th double play of the season, but you wouldn't have known it if you watched it in person. As Quincy said, very smooth.
Yeah, really the only game I can think of for the Big Train where they really left too many runners on base was the second game against the Crop Dusters. They had 4 runs to 10 hits.
Gonzalez, 1 for 2 with a double, grounds that one through the right side of the infield. His second hit of the day, a single into right.
Yeah, just a great piece of hitting there from Gonzalez. When he pulls the ball, he hits it hard. Not a lot of weak little flares towards right field. When he pulls the ball, he hits it hard, whether that's on the ground, in the air, or on a line. He's just been hammering the ball.
And he's not one of those guys who sells out for pull contact, but I absolutely agree with you, Quincy. When he does get out in front of the baseball, that's when he's at his best. He can serve a pitch into left or into center, but you want Gonzalez getting ahead of the baseball and smacking it to right field. Here's Josh Skaronski. He took strike 1, now ball 1.
And getting back to that point, though, you have to be able to hit to all fields, I think, to be a successful hitter. But it's great that he can do that, but when he pulls the ball, it's hit hard.
Ground ball towards first base from Skaronski. Phillips fields it inches off the ground and goes over to tap first base and retire the side. 2 hits in the inning, 1 runner left on, no runs score. Southern Maryland leads by 3 halfway through this ballgame. Back for his second inning of work. The lights at Regency Stadium have kicked on as the dying embers of sunset glint off the trees beyond left field as it cools off a bit, becoming a beautiful night for baseball here in Waldorf, Maryland. Chet Bowling drives the ball to left field, heading towards the foul pole. That is back. That is off the very top of the wall. Fielded on the hop by Wesley. Throws it into second base, and Bowling has to stop at first. I think he might have blown a tire somewhere between first and second because that looked like it should have been a stand-up double.
I think he thought that ball was gone. He missed a home run by a matter of 2 feet, hit off the very top of the wall in left field. It's a very high wall, about 20 feet, I would say. But he definitely thought he had a home run. If he was hustling out of the box, he's at second easily.
For as much as Brennan Wright excels leading off innings, Lucas Marrero has struggled. He's 0 for 3 in getting the first out in his outings. And today, He's getting up leadoff hits in both of his innings. That's a soft fly ball in the short center field coming in Peltier. He'll have to play it on the hop, but stopping again is Bowling. The throw towards second base from Peltier is high. Had a chance to get the rare 8-4 fielder's choice, but Bowling able to slide in safely on the single from MJ Phillips.
Yeah, Peltier, it looked like he kind of was thinking between laying out or trying to field on a hop and go towards second. Ultimately went for fielding it on a hop, but just not a great throw towards second.
Lucas Grantham swings first pitch and gets nothing but air. The Senators catcher holds the bat down on the knob and flares it down over his back. He bends at the waist, tilting his head towards his own dugout, then squares back up, lines it towards short. Diving stop by Brennan Wright. It fell out of his hand, it looks like, so he throws over to third. Then they throw it over to second. That's going to be a double play.
Yeah, Wright diving into the gap. The third base umpire signaled safe as if Wright didn't catch the ball, and neither one of the base runners moved. Heads up by Wright to throw it to third and then throw it to second, which is where Panette threw the ball. And Jackson, if I'm understanding this correctly, that means no catch, like that he didn't catch the ball. That should be a double play, I think.
And I thought I saw great work by Wright to even get there. That's a diving stop, but I saw the ball on the ground and him pick it up again. And then through to third, the throw goes to second, so that should be a 6-5-4 double play.
The umpiring crew is convening, but we'll see. Yep, motion to third, pump the fist for the out, motion to second, pump the fist for the out. You're right, 6-5-4 double play.
Very, very nice play. So it's a fielder's choice double play, but Brennan Wright went full extension to knock that down off the bat of Grantham. And that, as you said, heads up, high baseball IQ play from both him, Panette, and Corbin. Corbin flashed towards second immediately after the throw went to Panette and called for the ball again because he saw that Phillips hadn't taken off from first. So 2 runners killed. Lucas Grantham, who hit the ball, is standing at first base. The first pitch swing from Alex Martin is fouled off.
I kind of had a reflex reaction. I don't know if anyone heard it, but I said, throw it to second so they could get the second out there. But just heads up from the big train. You know, you may as well throw the ball around and get the outs while everyone's confused.
Line drive center field towards Peltier. He takes a stutter step and catches it on the canter to retire Alex Martin and end the inning. 2 hits, but only 1 runner left on. No runs for the Senators. We're through 5, and it's 4-1 Southern Maryland. It is 4-1 Senators The Big Train have been poking and prodding and knocking on the door, but the Senators have locked and barred the gates so far, and the battering ram of the Big Train offense has failed to make a dent since the second inning. 8 hits, only 1 run. Logan Panett leading things off against Alan Miller in this 6th inning. First pitch is a ball in the dirt.
Yeah, 1 run so far to 8 hits. The Big Train actually out hitting the Senators 8-7. They just haven't found the big hit with 2 outs yet.
Swinging a flare in the left field, base hit. Logan Panett to lead things off. That is the 9th knock of the day, and it brings up what's been a mini murderer's row in the 7 and 8 spots. 4 for 4 are Matt Wesley and Brett Ott with 2 doubles, and they're due up now.
Yeah, 2 doubles and 2 singles. They also pulled off a double steal, which got the Big Train's first run of the game. Ott took off towards second when he was on first, and then Wesley darted home, was able to score on an errant throw. That's been the only run the Big Train have pushed across so far.
The catcher Grantham sets up outside and gets a lovely pitch from Alan Miller for strike 1. Wesley checks on his third base coach's signs, nods his assent, and steps into the box. Pickoff play at first base. Panett dives in head first. They'll keep somewhat of an eye on Logan Panett. He's stolen 6 bases this year, including a 3 stolen base game earlier in the season. Gaithersburg, I believe. He takes a big secondary, but stays put on a pitch in the dirt, picked by Grantham on a hop.
Yeah, hopefully Wesley and Ott can keep up their stretch, push across at least 1 run to try to get back in this game.
Slider just a bit outside from Miller. Very nice pitch. And Matt Wesley's hip twitched like he wanted it, and his body said maybe, but his mind said no. Good take. They check on Panett again. It's late. Here in the top of the 6th, it's a 4-1 Senators lead. Nobody out. Logan Panett's on first. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ground ball chopped towards the backhand of Flores. Goes to first on the run. It can't be dug out by Phillips. Wesley's safe at first base, and there's runners at first and second. Nobody out for Brett Ott.
And I think you can rule that a hit or an error. That ball was really far deep into the hole. Flores had to field it on the run and then throw the opposite way. The hometown scoreboard, at least, is going to give Flores an error as Phillips couldn't dig it out at first. But now the Tide runs to the plate, and Ott has been as hot as anyone today, 2 for 2.
Single in the second, double in the 4th. He's got 2 base runners ahead of him. The pitch from Miller. Ott squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes a pitch outside.
Yeah, Ott does a lot of squaring on the first pitch of counts. He really likes to try to keep pitchers off balance and change their vantage point. It's been working well for him so far. A terrific on base like we've mentioned earlier.
Squares again, pulls it back. This time takes a strike on the outer half and has a brief but amicable chat with the home plate umpire about the location of that pitch.
Now that looked like a serious square. That looked like he was really trying to push one down the third base line. And now the third baseman, Surwick, playing pretty far in.
Deep up the middle, corners in for the bunt. He gets that one down the third base line. Moving in Surwick, gloves it, throws, it's low, and Ott is safe. Bunts for a single and loads up the bases for Jacob Hawk.
That bunt was in the perfect spot. Surwick knew he was going to lay it down, but it just died on the grass, perfectly located. If you could lay down a bunt, beat out the throw when the third baseman is anticipating it, that's some serious skill right there. 10 hits for the Big Train, but only the 1 run so far as Southern Maryland takes a meeting on the mound. Nobody out, bases loaded, and you got the top of the lineup set to flip over after this at bat for Hawk. Jackson, it feels like the time is now to tie this game.
Absolutely. I mean, great chance here. Jacob Hawk kind of toned for striking out looking in the fourth with runners on second and third add to his RBI total. But going back to that play from Ott, something I love about big train hitters, when they squared a bunt, even when it's a sacrifice situation, they're looking to get a hit out of it. You've seen plays just like that from Wright and Peltier, as well as Ott in the past. I mean, yes, they're bunting in an obvious sacrifice situation, but they're trying to deaden it down the third base line. They're breaking out of the box hard, and many times before, it's resulted in hits.
Yeah, just because you're bunting in a sacrifice spot doesn't mean you can't lay a good bunt down and beat out the throw at first.
Ott did just that there. Lovely work from the Sacramento State product. Brings up Jacob Hawk. He takes strike one. Nicely presented by Grantham behind the plate. Frames up the low and away pitch. Alan Miller in a spot of bother. Looking to work his way out and maintain his team's lead. The lanky righty is set at the belt. Throws it at the head of Jacob Hawk. Lost control of the slider, and Hawk ducks below it.
Yeah, just a breaking ball that didn't break. Probably slipped out of the hand of Miller. 1-1 to Hawk. Hit the ball hard in his first at-bat. Struck out second at-bat.
That pitch saws off the outer edge for strike two. On the season at Shepherd, Miller had a 4.3 ERA, went 4-3 in 14 appearances, 46 innings. He's found himself in jams before at this level, and certainly he's worked his way out of them. And he starts nicely here, drops in a breaking ball, catches Hawk looking for the second straight plate appearance, and there's now one away.
Yeah, it just froze Hawk there. I think he was just expecting something else. A lot of times when you strike out looking, it's not because you thought the pitch was going to be a ball. It's because you just thought something else was coming. Just kind of froze him there.
Alex Peltier, it's been a rare off day for him. He went 0-3 against Logan Bingham to start this game. Maybe the new arm can spark the East Carolina Pirate who swings and misses. He was going fishing that time, wanting to get the big hit. That pitch was in the other batter's box.
Yeah, he swung at the first pitch of the game and grounded out to short. Maybe a little too eager there to try to get multiple runs back with one swing. Anticipating fastball, slider just broke away from him.
Now he squares to bunt and takes a slider strike. It's now 0-2 for Peltier, who's already K'd twice today.
I don't really understand showing a bunt with the bases loaded. Unless you got the runner moving from third, I just don't understand that, Jackson.
And now he's in an 0-2 hole. Miller coils and fires. Swing and a miss. The hat trick for Alex Peltier. 2 straight strikeouts for Miller, and Brennan Wright now has to play hero.
Yeah, and Wright has had a good day today so far. 2 singles up the middle, and you know he's going to put up a battle. We talked about it at length in his last trip to the plate. But the time to score runs was now. Cannot leave 2 more runners in scoring position when they were there with nobody out.
Confident take from Brennan Wright at the pitch that appeared to be at his knees. Called low for ball 1. Need at least 1 in this inning. You can't come away empty-handed. And really, you want to tie the game. Wright takes a ball low. It's now 2-0. Hitters count and how for Wright here, who is 2 for 3 on the day.
Yeah, 2-0. I need to see the pitcher come to me. I think Wright's feeling the same way, especially with a walk scoring a run.
He takes way inside, ball 3.
And now I'd venture to say he's taken till he sees 2 strikes.
And he's got plenty of bat control. I don't think that's a bad approach at all. 2 strikes is not as much of a detriment for Wright as it is for many hitters. The 3-0 to him. Ball 4 outside. The big train do get one via an RBI walk from Brennan Wright. Forces in Logan Panette, and it's now 4-2.
Yeah, and That's after striking out Peltier, just 4 straight balls from Miller. Kind of lost control. None of those were really close. Maybe 1 or 2 of them you could consider that being a nice take from right, but some of them, the other 2 just missed way out. So 4-2, and now Corbin has the tying run in scoring position for him.
He takes strike 1, perfectly located on the outer half. Corbin flown out, grounded out, and picked up a GIDP, a 4.63 double play last inning. He's now got the bases juiced. The 0-1 takes it low.
And again, just got a battle up there. Only a soft single somewhere can score both these runs, and a walk will get one home. Corbin needs to be patient, wait for his pitch.
It's now 2-1 after that ball. Corbin on the season is 1 for 2 with the bases loaded, has 5 total RBI. He's picked up some timely walks and hit by pitches with ducks in the pond. A ball squirts away from the bullpen down the left field line, the Senators bullpen, and Matt Wesley goes down to throw it back to the bullpen catcher.
Yeah, this is an old-fashioned style bullpen. You just have 2 plates and 2 pieces of rubber in foul territory. Nowadays, every MLB stadium has a covered bullpen.
Pitch to Corbin, high pop fly down the left field line. It's going to get foul, and it's going to get into the bucket seats on the little outcropping past the cutout on the left field line.
Yeah, and over towards that bullpen again in foul territory. But this is the biggest at-bat of the game so far, I think, for either team. Corbin locked in a battle with Miller, able to spoil some pitches away. 2-2. If he sees a pitch he likes, gotta attack it.
Corbin stands nearly straight up and down in the box, ever so slightly open. Faces Alan Miller. Delivery. Swinging a ground ball towards third base. High hop for Surwick. He goes over and touches third to force Brett Ott and end the inning. The Big Train get 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error committed, and 3 runners left on. It is now 4-2 after 5.5 in Waldorf, Maryland.